My wife gifted virtual items worth $300,000 to Tyler, a male streamer, in 1 week, draining my father's funeral expenses, my mother's car accident compensation, and our entire life savings. Not only did she cheat with the streamer, but her verbal abuse of my father led to his fatal car accident as he rushed to the bank. After she was diagnosed with intestinal cancer, she even spent all the surgery funds I had gathered on gifting virtual items to the streamer. I pretended to support her selling our house to become his #1 supporter, but in reality, I already knew the streamer was running a pig butchering scam. Ultimately, she lost everything, accumulated debts from loan sharks, and died of late-stage intestinal cancer. Freezing on the street in winter, the streamer was also arrested for fraud upon entering the country. My wife gifted virtual items worth $300,000 to Tyler, and I sold our house to help her become his #1 supporter. 7 years into our marriage, I unexpectedly discovered that my wife had gifted virtual items worth $300,000 to Tyler, a male streamer, in less than a week. She had even used up my father's funeral expenses and the compensation left for my mother. Ethan, I'm sorry, I really won't dare to do it again. Please forgive me this one time. Watching Ashley embrace my arm, her eyes full of guilt and tears, I didn't get angry. Instead, I smiled faintly. How much more do you need to be the #1 supporter? I'll sell the house to help you keep spending. Ethan, what did you just say? Ashley Miller looked up, staring at me blankly, as if she thought she had misheard. I said, I understand you are under a lot of stress and need entertainment. If you want to spend, then spend. Money can always be earned again. Ethan, are you not joking? You really don't blame me. That money was, after all, your dad's car accident compensation and funeral expenses, and your MOMS retirement savings. It was our family's entire savings. Her eyes widened, seemingly unable to believe such words would come from my usually frugal mouth. Why would I blame you? The streamer you gifted virtual items to yesterday is named Tyler Jenkins, right? I followed him too. He's handsome and can dance. It's understandable that you like him. Everyone appreciates beauty. After all, I smiled faintly, patting her hand reassuringly. That popular term now, emotional value, right? If you ask me, that money was well spent. The guilt and shame on Ashley Miller's face gradually faded, replaced by excitement. Yes, yes, yes. TY is much more handsome than all the streamers I followed before. Look at him, and then look at you. You earn so little and don't know how to make people happy. Only I would look at you. If it weren't for him, I might have been depressed by now. You should thank him. Listening to Ashley Miller belittle me, I felt no anger. Instead, I responded with genuine sincerity. If it makes you happy, then no amount of money is too much. Keep gifting virtual items if you want. I'm not joking, as long as you like it. Selling the house to make you the #1 supporter is fine. She nodded in agreement, happily burying her head in my embrace. Thank you, Ethan. I didn't realize you were so understanding. But, selling the house. She hesitated for a moment. Maybe we shouldn't, after all. It took so much effort to buy such a good house, in a good school district back then. I've decided to sell those shoes and bags first to gift, to TY. Okay, whatever you want. I curved my lips, not a ripple in my heart. Over the next few days, Ashley Miller began selling her jewelry and clothes. At first, she was enthusiastic, even listing our TV and computer on the online marketplace. But before long, she grew listless and glum. When she spoke, she was always distracted. I thoughtfully opened my phone and found Tyler Jenkins' homepage. Sure enough, Ashley Miller's fan ranking had plummeted. Tyler Jenkins' live stream announcement read, "Live challenge next week. Please support everyone. Anyone who gifts 10 or more luxury virtual gifts next week can add the streamer's private account." And in the comments, everyone was tagging Ashley Miller. Isn't Ashley Miller rich? You must come help, or our TY will fall out of the top 10 in popularity. Forget it, this Ashley hasn't appeared for days. I think she's just a fake, pretending to be rich when she has no money. Seeing these comments, I instantly understood everything. That evening, at the dinner table, Ashley Miller stammered several times, seemingly wanting to say something. I poured her a bowl of soup, pretending to look at her in confusion. Ashley, why do you seem so troubled? Is there something you can't even tell me? Ashley Miller put down her chopsticks, bit her lip, and seemed to make up her mind, speaking softly. Ethan, You said before that you'd be willing to sell the house to help me gift virtual items and become Tice #1 supporter. Does that still count? Having anticipated this, my mind was calm, and the hand holding the soup bowl was perfectly steady. Of course, we've been married for so many years. When have I ever lied to you? I smiled helplessly. Tell me, how much more do you need to be the #1 supporter? Really, Ethan? I asked yesterday. I only need to gift another 300,000 to be the #1 supporter. You don't know, these past few days that I haven't gifted virtual items, other fans have been saying I'm just pretending to have money, laughing at me behind my back, and even making Tice's attitude towards me much colder. Now, I'm going to rub it in their faces. Watching Ashley Miller's excited expression, I nodded in agreement and used her phone to open Tyler Jenkins' live stream. The young man, ABS exposed, yelling a welcome to my dear Ashley, appeared on the screen. I clicked on his profile picture and sent a private message. Besides adding your private account, what other benefits are there to being your #1 supporter? Of course, my dear Ashley. I'll greet you good morning and good night every day and sing for you. It's definitely worth it. If my dear Ashley is the #1 supporter for 2 consecutive months, I'll arrange to meet you and treat you to a big meal. I have a live challenge next week. You must come. I'm counting entirely on you, my true fan. I showed the screen to my wife, raising an eyebrow. See, there are so many benefits to being the #1 supporter. This way, 300,000 isn't a loss. Ashley Miller's breathing noticeably hitched for a moment when she saw the line about meeting for a big meal. A blush spread across her face. Clearly, she was swayed. But she hesitated for a few seconds and asked, "But Ethan, if we sell the house, where will we live?" "It's fine, we can stay at my MOMS place. We'll get through this difficult period first, and once I make a lot of money, we'll get a bigger house," I answered without hesitation. "I'll quickly put our house up for urgent sale, so you can make it for next week's live challenge." "Okay, Ethan, I'll listen to you." Ashley Miller looked at me with gratitude, her face full of pleasant surprise. She hugged me, kissed me, and joyfully ran back to the room to show off to her girlfriends in the fan group. As for me, I lit a cigarette, and through the exhaled smoke, quietly gazed at the wedding photo hanging in the living room from 3 years ago. After a while, I clicked on the latest message in my chat window with the real estate agent. "Mr. Hayes, you confirmed the house you wanted to sell, right? Then we can list it for sale. However, since it's an urgent sale, the price might not be very good. It's fine, as long as it sells. The faster the better. Just take the down payment and send it to my bank card." In less than half a month, the house was sold, and the money was transferred to my bank card. As soon as Ashley Miller found out, she eagerly appeared in the live stream. The moment she entered, she gifted 5 grand celebration gifts. Special effects flashed across the screen, and Tyler Jenkins quickly greeted her. "Welcome, my dear Ashley, to my stream. Thank you for the gift. My dear Ashley. Love you." Sending a heart gesture. Live chat comments scrolled by one after another. "My dear Ashley is so generous. Wealthy supporter is incredible." This greatly satisfied Ashley Miller's vanity. She kept gifting virtual items, one after another, making the screen dazzling with special effects. Tyler Jenkins also thanked her repeatedly, blowing kisses and sending heart gestures, occasionally telling Ashley Miller some off-color jokes. Soon, the live challenge ended, without a doubt. Tyler Jenkins won against his opponent, and became the 6th most popular streamer. Perhaps overly excited, Ashley Miller spent a long time on the phone with her best friend, in the room and didn't come out. My mother called her for dinner, but was pushed out roughly. "Didn't I tell you not to bother me? I don't like your trashy food. Just seeing you, that old woman, annoys me." I quickly helped my mother, who almost fell, and sighed. "I'll go call her." As I approached, I heard her excited voice from inside the room. "I spent my Ethan's money." "But wasn't it his choice? That loser, he can't make money, and his only good quality is being obedient. I'll just treat him like an obedient dog. At most, when TY and I are together, I'll return his money and buy him a green hat. Haha." She laughed, gasping for air. "That's right. Selling the house was his choice. The reason? Who knows, maybe he's just pathetic. You wait. I'll even make him pay for TY and me to get a hotel room." I leaned quietly by the door, no anger or sadness on my face, but rather a look of pity. Over the next 2 months, Ashley Miller became unstoppable, gradually spending all the money from the house sale on Tyler Jenkins, By Valentine's Day, she had been Tyler Jenkins' #1 supporter for 2 consecutive months. That morning, she woke up early and meticulously applied makeup, dressed up, and put on new, sexy lingerie and stockings. "I have plans tonight, so I won't be back. The money from the house sale isn't enough. Send me more. Hurry up." Ashley Miller dismissively left these 2 sentences and walked out of the house, her face full of pleasure. I calmly nodded and watched her leave. Ashley Miller indeed did not return all night. In the early hours of the morning, she uploaded a video to her social media post. In the video, she wore a lace nightgown, weakly sitting on Tyler Jenkins' lap, her fair hand tightly gripping his forearm. The French windows reflected both their faces and Tyler Jenkins' naked body. The caption read, "Thank you for making my dreams come true. I deserve someone as wonderful as you." This video caused an uproar among all our mutual friends. "Ashley, isn't this the streamer from TikTok? How are you two together? Where's Ethan Hayes?" Ashley Miller quickly replied, "Jealous, are we? Haha. Ethan Hayes is just my dog. He wouldn't dare say a word." The 13,140 transferred to TY was even given to me by him before long. This social media post was screenshotted and posted on Twitter, gaining a lot of traction. "Isn't this a streamer and his #1 supporter? The wealthy supporter's husband paid for her to meet the streamer. This man must have a special fetish. Ha 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 ha, a cuckold fetish. Coward. How can there be such a man, completely indifferent to his wife cheating?" Most of the comments mocked me. A few people who criticized Ashley Miller for being immoral were also argued against. Wasn't it her husband's choice? Maybe the man is impotent. That's why he's so insecure. Gossip spreads quickly in a small town. The next morning, when I went to work, my colleagues' eyes were filled with disdain and mockery. Most people couldn't focus on work, whispering about me behind my back, occasionally letting out a few ambiguous laughs, but I was unaffected. In the evening, my childhood friend Jake Peterson anxiously called, "Ethan, do you know what they are saying about you behind your back now? But don't be too sad, divorce her quickly. Ashley Miller is a despicable woman. You need to cut your losses." Sad. I'm not sad, in fact, I'm quite happy, because the elaborate show I designed is about to begin. I smiled sincerely, my voice light. Just divorcing her would be letting Ashley Miller off too easily. As soon as I hung up, Ashley Miller, who had been out for 2 consecutive nights, stumbled through the door. Drunk, her clothes were disheveled, large areas of fair skin exposed, her neck and collarbone covered in hickey marks. "Wash these clothes for me, quickly." She pulled out torn stockings and lingerie stained with an unknown liquid from her bag, and threw them in front of me. "Where's dinner? You are not even making dinner now. What am I supposed to eat?" I ignored her, calmly sat down, and unhurriedly brewed myself a cup of tea. "Ethan Hayes, what are you dawdling for? Just seeing you annoys me. Forget it. I'll be direct. I want a divorce. Look at your worthless self. You don't earn enough for me to spend. I don't know what I saw in a loser like you back then. Drink, 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 drink what? Did you hear what I said?" She impatiently slammed my cup onto the floor, looking at me with disgust, feeling dizzy from the alcohol fumes. I subtly moved a little further away, and spoke calmly. "Okay, I agree to a divorce, but all our household assets have already been used by you to gift virtual items to Tyler Jenkins, so regarding asset division." Fine, fine, I don't even care about your meager money. I'll walk away with nothing, alright. Just don't bother me after I'm with TY. "Okay, sign it." Ashley Miller took the divorce papers, impatiently signed them, and eagerly began packing her luggage. As she packed, she didn't forget to curse and mock me, agreeing so readily. "You must know you can't compare to TY, right? Back then, I was the campus belle of State University. How did I end up with a useless man like you? I must have been blind. My biggest regret in this life is meeting you. Otherwise, I might have married TY much earlier." I revealed a meaningful smile and murmured to myself, "Ashley Miller, you will soon know what true regret is." With a crash and bang, Ashley Miller slammed the door shut. Looking at the messy room, I smiled indifferently. My phone beeped. I opened WhatsApp. It was a message from Dr. Davis from City General Hospital. "Mr. Hayes, didn't you gather the surgery funds for your wife? Why haven't you brought her in for hospitalization and payment? It truly takes adversity to reveal true character. Good men like you are rare these days. I still remember how sad you were the day you received Ms. Miller's medical report. Later, You even said you wanted to get your father's car accident compensation from your mother to gather funds for hospitalization and surgery. You also said you wanted the best medication, and were worried you wouldn't have enough money, so you even listed your house with an agent for sale. I looked at these messages, a sarcastic smile on my face, and my thoughts drifted away. 3 months ago, the company I worked for organized a regular health checkup, and family members of key employees could also participate for free, but not long after the checkup, I received a call from the hospital. Mr. Hayes, is Ashley Miller your family member? Yes, she's my wife. What's wrong? The other end of the line was silent for a few seconds before responding. We recommend you come to the hospital in person to discuss this. It might not be clear over the phone. A bad premonition welled up in my heart, and I quickly took a taxi to the hospital. Only then did I learn that Ashley Miller, so young, had intestinal cancer. Doctor, can my wife still be saved? We'll pay whatever it takes. Hearing this devastating news, I almost lost control of my emotions. I was only grateful that we still had some savings at home. Fortunately, it hasn't metastasized yet. Please go make the payment first, prepare luggage in advance, and then have your wife admit herself as soon as possible. For the patient's emotional well-being, we recommend you don't directly inform her of this news yet. I nodded and rushed to the payment counter to arrange for hospitalization. Sir, there's no balance in this bank card. The nurse's words exploded in my ears like a thunderclap. How could tens of thousands in savings disappear just like that? Had Ashley Miller fallen victim to a telecommunications scam? I quickly contacted the bank's customer service and discovered that all the tens of thousands of dollars had gone to a certain live streaming platform. This money had been gradually gifted by my wife to many young male streamers. I returned home dazed, smoked cigarettes all night, listed the house information with the agent, and then dialed my mother's number. Mom. After calling out Mom, my throat felt constricted. My father had passed away in a car accident just a week ago, and this compensation would be my mother's support in her old age. I didn't know how to bring it up. But even though Ashley Miller was at fault, she was my wife for many years. I truly couldn't bear to watch her die. Dad's car accident compensation, could I borrow it for now? We have an urgent need for money. My mother agreed without hesitation and transferred the money to me. I quickly logged into WhatsApp and instructed Ashley Miller, who was away on a business trip. The money in the bank card is my dad's car accident compensation. It's for something important, so don't touch it. Also, I have something important to tell you. Let's talk properly when you get back. But the next morning, I found one payment notification after another. In just one night, the surgery money was gone again. My mind went blank. Was I, who had just lost my father, about to lose my wife as well? The tablet at home vibrated. I saw Ashley Miller's account was still logged in on the screen, and her chat history with her best friend popped up. Ashley, how was that young streamer the other day? So young. He must have a lot of stamina. He was good. It was worth spending over $100,000 to get him to meet me. Below, there was a photo of Ashley Miller, who was supposed to be on a business trip, cuddling with a strange man on a hotel's large bed. You could have met him last week, but you weren't there for the live challenge, so you wasted that opportunity. Don't even mention it. It was all because of Ethan Hayes' old man. I urgently needed money to gift virtual items, but Ethan Hayes' worthless bank card ran out so quickly, so I told his old man to hurry to the bank and transfer money to me. As a result, that old man said the icy roads were slippery, making me wait 10 minutes and he still hadn't transferred the money. I was so anxious I cursed him out. Finally, the old man rushed, got into a car accident, and died on the spot. The money wasn't even transferred. He ruined my gifting virtual items. He was so useless, wasn't he? Don't you think they are all useless in that family? Instantly, I felt as if I had fallen into an ice bath. I froze, chills running through me. No wonder my father, who usually had bad legs and disliked going out, rushed to the bank, and was hit by a car, dying instantly, simply because he was too anxious. It turned out that while I was raising money for Ashley Miller's surgery, she was using my money to cheat with those big and small streamers, and she even caused my father's death. 9 years, from high school sweethearts to married couple. I never imagined that the person I lived with day in and day out would be such a malicious woman. Yet, back then, she was a sweet and innocent girl, who would blush just holding hands. Did I misjudge her, or did time change her? After crying all night in front of my father's portrait, I swore I would make Ashley Miller pay. That day, I logged into Ashley Miller's account, and helped her follow a streamer named Tyler Jenkins, my phone ditched again, and my thoughts gradually returned. Mr. Hayes, please come make the payment as soon as possible. Once cancer enters its late stage, the hope of recovery becomes even smaller. Sorry, I don't have the surgery and hospitalization funds anymore. My wife spent the money on gifting virtual items to a streamer. I replied with this line expressionlessly, and decisively turned off my phone. Half a month later, while having dinner with my mother at the mall, I unexpectedly ran into a beautifully dressed Ashley Miller. She was holding Tyler Jenkins' hand, covered in new designer clothes and accessories, looking down at me condescendingly. Ethan Hayes, you should really see what kind of life I'm living now that I'm away from you. I wear designer clothes, drive a luxury car, and seeing a loser like you makes me sick. Speaking of which, I should still thank you for selling the house, and helping me add TY on WhatsApp, allowing me to meet such a good, perfect man. Tyler Jenkins stood beside her, looking at Ashley Miller gently, and deliberately thanked me too. TY and I are about to start a big business. When that happens, if you kneel and beg us, we might consider letting you make some money, so you can get your dad a better burial plot. Haha. As she laughed, her face suddenly changed, and she tightly clutched her lower abdomen. It hurts so much. TY, I don't feel well. Let's go to the hospital. What's wrong, my dear Ashley? No need to go to the hospital. I'll take you home to rest and make you some warm tea, okay? Honey, you are so thoughtful. Watching them walk away embraced, I couldn't help but shake my head. I knew Ashley Miller's stomach pain wasn't ordinary. It was caused by her cancer. After comforting my startled mother for a few moments, I went home, quietly awaiting the most spectacular part of this show. 2 months later, Ethan, you and Ashley Miller divorced, right? As soon as I answered Jake Peterson's call, I heard him anxiously ask about Ashley Miller and me. You'd better not have any more ties to that woman. She's finished. What happened? Tell me slowly. Although I already knew, I still wanted to hear the latest about Ashley Miller. Ashley Miller owes money to loan sharks, and can't pay it back. Debt collectors are chasing her every day. I heard that after your divorce, she went into business with Tyler Jenkins. Something about currency, a big investment. Tyler Jenkins said he had inside information and promised her that as long as the investment was in place, making tens of millions within a year would be no problem. But Ashley Miller had no fixed assets and quit her job, so how could she get a loan through legitimate channels? So she started borrowing from online lenders everywhere, almost every avenue, and she borrowed from everyone she knew, even coming to me for money. Even her best friend was completely drained, selling her house to help her. I nodded, taking a puff from my cigarette. And then the other side paused, then his voice became excited. Ethan, guess what happened next? I guess Tyler Jenkins took the money and ran, went to, let me think, Southeast Asia. Thailand. Anyway, Ashley Miller definitely lost everything. Holy cow, man, you are psychic. I let out a soft laugh. A pig butchering scam, not hard to guess. Yeah, I guess so. The best part is, she couldn't pay back the loans, and she was forced to consider selling an organ. But guess what? You definitely won't guess this one. I'll tell you, oh, I guess she got cancer, and the cancer cells spread, so she couldn't even sell an organ. No way. Ethan, you guessed that too. Jake Peterson's voice rose in shock. I put out my cigarette, but in the ashtray, smiled again, and said nothing. Ethan, you didn't plan all this 3 months ago, did you? You already knew she had cancer. A knocking sound came from the door, and I snapped back to reality. Jake, someone's here. Let's talk another time. I hung up the phone and unhurriedly walked to the door and opened it. Standing there was a disheveled woman with messy hair, already skin and bones. It was Ashley Miller, who had been so glamorous and arrogant just 2 months ago. Ethan, how have you been? Her eyes were bloodshot, her face pale and devoid of color, as she nervously rubbed the hem of her clothes. Don't call me that. We are divorced. It's disgusting. I glanced at her with a smirk, my tone mocking. What? Ashley Miller, have you made a fortune and come to pay back the $600,000 you owe me? Ashley Miller's face flushed, then paled. A few seconds later, she actually dropped to her knees. Ethan, I was foolish before, blinded by folly. Please, give me another chance. Please help me. Please. If you don't help me, I'll die. I have cancer, and I owe loan sharks. I'll really die, she cried, gasping for breath, but she didn't evoke any pity in me, she only made me feel repulsive, and utterly nauseated. Ashley Miller, whether you live or die is none of my damn business, get out. I impatiently pushed her away, my voice cold and hard. Lots of people get cancer, and lots of people owe debts, why the hell should I help you? Ashley Miller seemed shocked for a moment. After all, in 7 years of marriage, I had never sworn, but we were married for so many years. Ethan, do you know that Tyler Jenkins is a swindler? He's a swindler. He said he could make a lot of money, that I'd get rich if I invested. Ashley Miller looked helpless and spoke incoherently. I'm sorry, I just realized now that you are the best person in the world to me. I was wrong. I was really wrong. She shuffled 2 steps and tightly hugged my leg, tears and snot streaming down her face. As long as you are willing to save me, help me pay for medical expenses, and the $3 million in loans, I'll agree to come back to you, and do anything for you, once I'm better. Let's have a child. Haven't you always wanted a child? I'll definitely be filial to your parents, take care of the family, and make money. You love me so much, you'll definitely be willing to forgive me this time, right? Looking at her hopeful gaze, I lowered my head and curved my lips. Ashley Miller, your cancer is already in late stage, isn't it? No one can help you now. How do you know? Ethan Hayes, you bastard. She said half a sentence, then seemed to realize something, screaming hysterically, you knew I had cancer all along. You knew all along, and you encouraged me to sell the house and gift virtual items, spending all my money. You had so many chances to tell me. Why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you? You are trying to kill me. It's you. I looked down at the hysterical woman before me, calmly shaking my head. Ashley Miller, think again. Did no one really tell you? 3 months ago, my mother, unaware of the full truth, had soft-heartedly told Ashley Miller about her cancer diagnosis. Ashley, actually, you are seriously ill, you should keep some savings, don't spend it all. But how did Ashley Miller respond? PFFT, that old woman dares to curse me. I'm telling you, even if I have cancer, I'll still gift virtual items to our TY, don't meddle, if anyone's going to die first, it'll be you, do you remember now? Watching the color drain from Ashley Miller's face, I finally couldn't help but scoff. Ashley Miller, do you know? Every penny you spent on gifting virtual items was the money we had prepared for your hospitalization and surgery at the time. To this day, it's entirely your own fault. And now, you even have the nerve to talk about our years as husband and wife. Do you think I didn't know about you cheating with those minor streamers and causing my father's death? You are asking me to save you, but have you ever considered that I'm the one who hates you the most? At this moment, Ashley Miller was slowly being consumed by despair, her eyes filled only with darkness, as she murmured to herself, no, it's not like that, please forgive me. Are you saying that money was originally for my treatment? Impossible. I didn't have to die, did I? Tell me. I watched the collapsing, crying Ashley Miller indifferently, kicked her away roughly, and closed the door. No matter how she cried and shouted, I didn't give her another look. The next day, and the day after, Ashley Miller stayed outside the door, not leaving. Every day there were muffled cries and knocking sounds, until I called the police, and I never saw her again. Ethan, what happened after that? The food in front of us was getting cold, but Jake Peterson hadn't touched a bite, staring intently at me, waiting for me to continue. After that, I didn't ask much, but I heard she died. I took a bite of some food, without looking up. She died in the snow, it was cold, and it took over 10 days for anyone to find her. She had injuries all over her body, and the blood had frozen solid. Some say it looked like she fell from a building, and crawled for a bit before dying. Others say she was beaten to death. Oh well, who knows, only the police can make a definitive conclusion, I guess. Jake Peterson chewed on his unlit cigarette butt, nodded, and said with emotion, Ethan, you were right, what goes around comes around for her. That's why they say what's done in the dark will come to light. What goes around comes around. She brought it entirely upon herself. Karma. Did she bring it on herself? I stretched my neck, looked out the window, and repeated softly, yeah, I mean, out of so many streamers, why did she have to fall for a swindler? Jake Peterson, with the cigarette butt between his fingers, took a sip of beer and mumbled, I heard that swindler was too stingy to take her to the hospital. Otherwise it wouldn't have dragged on for so long without being discovered. Those types, they operate in different places, finish a job, and run back to Thailand. The next one, who knows where it'll be, very hard to catch. There are so many scammers in that place. I remember you told me a few years ago that you ran into a scamming group while traveling in Thailand, a pig butchering scam specializing in wealthy supporters. And you even said there was a handsome young guy in there. Jake Peterson dropped the beef he was holding with his chopsticks onto the table, suddenly looking up at me, with wide, disbelieving eyes. I smiled casually and put another piece of meat into his bowl. You intentionally sold the house and helped Ashley Miller become the #1 supporter so she could add Tyler Jenkins on WhatsApp, so she could fall into this trap. And also to help her maintain the image of a foolish wealthy supporter, so Tyler Jenkins would choose her as a target. Is that right, Ethan? If you think so, then that's what it is. I can't change your mind, I shrugged, looking indifferent, after a long silence. Jake Peterson spoke haltingly. I don't understand. She already had cancer, didn't she? She was going to die anyway. Why go to all the trouble and waste so much money just to send her to hell? It was a huge loss. Do you think, without Tyler Jenkins, she would have divorced me so readily? Would she have been so caught up in the moment, completely disregarding her health? If she didn't have money for treatment, she could borrow it. She could earn it through illicit means. Jake, wicked people like her are very resilient. You shouldn't underestimate her. More importantly, I wanted her to die a truly miserable death. All right, enough about that. After I finished speaking, I refilled Jake Peterson's beer glass and my own, signaling for him to drink more and talk less. Ethan, it hasn't been easy for you, since your father passed away. I know, who would have thought that your wife of so many years would be such a person? I still remember when you two got married. Ashley Miller said she was the luckiest woman in the world to marry you. We all thought you two were a perfect match, so well suited, but now. No more talk, just say the word if you need money. Jake Peterson chugged his beer, and a big, burly man looked at me, his eyes reddening. I looked at him for a long time, then chuckled. Buddy, I forgot to tell you, my dink aunt in New Zealand passed away a few days ago. She left me her inheritance. It's quite a lot, about 9 million in USD. My visa is done. My mom and I are moving there next month. You are welcome to visit me in New Zealand anytime. Jake Peterson froze for a moment before finally reacting, his voice suddenly rising. No wonder you didn't care about all the money Ashley Miller spent. Damn it, you did that on purpose, didn't you? You didn't say anything sooner. I just paid the bill pretending to go to the restroom. Next time, you're treating me to a huge meal. I want Japanese food. I laughed so hard I could barely breathe, quickly promising to take him to the most expensive restaurant. 6 months later, in New Zealand, by Lake Tekapo, I lay with my arms propped behind my head in a field of lupin flowers, the grass still warm from the sun. After countless minutes of clearing my mind, I received a call from my lawyer, Mr. Hayes. We have an update on the recovery of assets in a marital fraud case you entrusted us with. The suspect, Mr. Jenkins, returned to the country to commit fraud again and was apprehended upon entry. However, due to the complexity of this recovery case and the fact that the party involved has already passed away, tracing the assets has been quite difficult. We were only able to recover approximately 200,000 Chinese yuan for you. Is that acceptable? Yes. Please contact Jake Peterson to handle this money. He will facilitate the donation on my behalf to children with critical illnesses and underserved communities. After hanging up, I left a message for Jake Peterson, asking him to take care of it. Then, I opened my social media post, and saw the photo my mom had uploaded. The chili peppers and cherry tomatoes in the photo collage were so vibrant they practically jumped off the screen. The location showed Christchurch Market District, and the like list was uniformly filled with IDs like peace and contentment and finding joy in simplicity. In the comments section, Mom was enthusiastically chatting with other women in the community about how to grow the best food in their yards. The evening breeze blew, and a few seagulls skimmed across the lake, peaceful, calm, until a series of pings came through, and WhatsApp showed over a dozen new messages. Son, these are all single Chinese women from our community. Do you want to meet them? There are highly educated ones, sweet-looking ones, and look, this one here, she's also divorced, just like you, and has a cute little girl. I found a few women who actually found your looks appealing, despite their questionable taste. Hey, why aren't you replying? Do you like non-Asian women? That's fine too. Mom will start practicing English right now. I looked at the photos of potential blind dates my mother was frantically forwarding, and smiled helplessly. Mom, my company is just starting. I don't have time for that. Let's talk about it in a couple of years. Besides, I finally got a vacation to travel. Can't you just let me have some peace and quiet? A couple more years. How old will you be by then? I've never seen anyone like you. Tell me, are you developing psychological scars towards women? Do you want us to set up an appointment with a therapist? Did you hear me? Don't make me come over there to find you. Well, it seemed there were still a few minor interruptions to the piece, but, as I gazed at the sky ablaze with sunset colors, I lifted the corners of my mouth. It truly was genuine present peace and stability, thriving.